crypto world might never be the same after Congress recently gave Ripple the keys to the future of digital finance. This landmark ruling represents a paradigm shift in the regulation and perception of digital currencies, the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act, or PICITS 21, was passed by the US House of Representatives on May 22, 2024, marking a historic milestone. This act has the potential to completely transform the digital banking industry. This historic law, which aims to provide security and order to the growing cryptocurrency sector, is the most important federal crypto regulatory bill to pass the House. The FIT21 Act is anticipated to promote innovation while guaranteeing consumer protection and market stability, as it garnered bipartisan support and established a complete framework that at last provides clarity to the industry's request. The digital finance industry is entering a new era. Fundamentally, FIT21 provides a framework for identifying whether digital assets are securities or commodities, and explicitly outlines the functions of the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. The industry has been calling for this clarification for years because it gives businesses the foundation they need to operate within the law. More confident and strategic business decisions are now possible due to the removal of the ambiguity that once plagued the industry. This is a major victory for Ripple, the blockchain behemoth that created XRP and has been mired in regulatory limbo for more than 4 years, as well as for the cryptocurrency sector as a whole. Ripple may now concentrate on innovation and expansion without having to worry about legal ramifications all the time, thanks to the new rules. It is anticipated that this newfound independence will speed up their collaborations and projects, strengthening their position as a major participant in the world market. Following their 5221, Ripple is now flourishing in the US regulatory environment rather than just surviving it. The business is now in a position to increase its operational influence by using the explicit instructions to test the limits of blockchain technology. For Ripple, this signals beginning of a new age in which they can lead with assurance and vision. However, how is this accomplished by Ripple? How do they successfully negotiate the intricate and frequently ambiguous regulatory frameworks? The solution is an influence rather than merely an invention. Ripple recognized that they needed to be at the center of policymaking in order to have a big influence. Ripple is one of the most active cryptocurrency companies on Capitol Hill, having spent more than $2 million, 0 cents, on lobbying in 2023 alone. Spending money was only one aspect of this investment. Another was establishing connections and securing a place at the decision-making table. That number is strategic in addition to being stunning. Ripple took a measured approach in an effort to sway important decision makers and stakeholders. Instead of advocating for protection, Ripple was doing it for something far more important. Clarity was being lobbied. Regulations and clarity that might shape the future of virtual currency. In order to free XRP from SEC inspection and reveal its full potential in the US financial system, the business aimed to pass legislation that would clearly differentiate XRP as a digital commodity rather than a security. The financial ecosystem may adopt and integrate XRP more widely as a result of this clarification. In Washington, Ripple has been subtly but effectively influencing the discourse. As part of its multi-year push to normalize and establish XRP as an institutional-grade digital currency, Ripple has spoken with lawmakers, sent white papers to congressional offices, and formed a new era, not the conclusion of the fight, as Garlinghouse recently said. And one thing is very evident as we look to the future. Now, retail investors have a decision to make. They have two options. Either watch from the sidelines as the XRP transforms from a speculative asset into a pillar of contemporary finance, or ride this wave and position themselves before institutional money floods the market. Ripple is taking a long-term approach, having inked more than 1,700 non-disclosure agreements with banks and payment processors worldwide. Additionally, Washington recently gave that game its highest approval. Is $100, 0 cents XRP feasible then? How long before it occurs might be a better question. FIT21's passage is undoubtedly one of the most significant crypto events of the decade, even though it may not have garnered much media attention. By formally recognizing that the outdated regulations do not apply to modern technology, Congress has opened the door for Ripple and XRP to gain prominence. The facilities are available, the clarity has arrived, the capital is observing. One thing is certain, regardless of whether XRP reaches $100, 0 cents or not, Ripple has received US support. Retail investors now have to choose between being wealthy and falling behind. Gap 2. Ripple and XRP are poised on the brink of a previously unheard of opportunity as we turn to the future. Catalyst is the new regulatory clarity. With smart alliances and creative solutions, Ripple is expanding into new areas and financial ecosystems with the goal of revolutionizing cross-border transactions and liquidity management. Gap2S. Imagine living in a future where money transfers as smoothly as information and there is no longer any financial friction. Ripple is putting in a lot of effort to realize this ambition. A new era of financial efficiency and equality is heralded by impending developments like possible mergers with central banks and international financial organizations. Gap2S, the effects on the market can be enormous. The demand for XRP is expected to rise as more organizations use Ripple's technology, which might push its value to all-time highs. In addition to being a financial revolution, this is also a technological and social movement that is making the world more interconnected. Gap2S. This offers investors a rare chance to take part in something revolutionary. Ripple has enormous growth potential as long as it keeps innovating and growing. The adventure is just getting started and the road ahead is paved with opportunities. Gap2S. Remain educated, remain invested, and be prepared to see how finance has changed over time. Ripple is at the forefront of a promising future. Gap2S. This is a movement rather than merely an investment. Are you prepared to become a part of the revolution?